Brian and Lou, backstage Lollapalooza with Steven and Mikkel from Airborne Toxic Event. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
And young Paulie in the corner there.
Paulie's like the coolest cat in this whole joint, man. Look at him.
6 months old.
He's great.
He's a big fan.
He hopped the fence to get in here. He doesn't have a wristband.
Yeah,
that's
little
tough.
vagrant.
Talk about some of Mikkel, your background before the band as a writer in various forms, which I think is super fascinating. Talk about some of the things that you worked on as a writer. As a
I wrote
writer.
2 novels. I wrote a lot of essays. I was on All Things Considered on NPR.
Fancy.
I was one of those guys. I was like their young, edgy columnist dude that would do like, you know those guys that come on, they're like, what's the deal with Republicans and blue ties? Except I was like the one that'd be like, what's the deal with Built to Spill? You know, like, or whatever. And so, yeah, that set me up for being in a band, I feel like.
And I'm
It's a
thinking
natural continuum, I'd say.
That's the path that people go on.
I'm
I'm
kidding.
thinking the band name came from a work that you had worked on or had read.
Don DeLillo's White Noise, the second unit of which, the postmodern classic that we've all read and we all love, of course, yeah. He's read it.
Paulie reads it just
Yeah, for sure. The second unit is called the Airborne Toxic Event. You know what? When we started the band, I had no idea we'd ever be a band that would be big enough to not need such a weird name. And I think, like, in retrospect, I should have just called this like U3 or something. Like,
Well, I kind of think going off that point of like how big you guys kind of became, I was at an event a couple of years ago with U2 and Shirley Manson did this whole interview thing. It happened at the Metro here in Chicago.
Yeah.
And Adam Clayton referenced you guys as one of the bands he could listen to for the rest of the year. Like
that's
sometime
nice.
around midnight was his jam. He was all into it. Does that, when you guys hear something like that, does that add some pressure? Like, wow, U2 is watching us? Like that's, or is it just kind of like, sweet, bring it on, more the merrier?
It's tremendously flattering, and I feel like the pressure comes from when people have like Airborne Toxic Event tattoos. That's when I'm like, I don't want someone to like be ashamed of that tattoo someday, because that's forever. You know what I mean? I don't want someone to be like 20 years from now, like Airborne Toxic Event, 2014, huh?
Yeah.
Well, people are
Okay, good job.
people fall in love with the lyrics so much that they'll have like whole like verses or whatever tattooed on
Like
them.
right down their
Yeah, and then
ribcage.
sometimes you see a misspelled word and you don't want to say anything, but
Just don't deflate that balloon for him.
You just have to see her. Where's the rest of that tattoo? And even the string elements in your music, with Anna playing the violin, did you get to play with any kind of high-profile orchestras?
Oh yeah, we played Red Rocks with Colorado Symphony. That was pretty amazing.
Louisville Orchestra.
Louisville Orchestra. We played the Central Park Summer Stage
Awesome.
with an orchestra. We've done a bunch of
Costa Mesa.
yeah.
that one.
With the was that the LA Phil? That was the OC Phil or something like that, right?
That was the name escapes me, but
yeah,
it's
Pacific
the,
Symphony.
Pacific
That's what it was.
Symphony,
Yeah,
right.
they're pretty high profile. So, yeah, that part's really great, and it feels like you're on the edge of a spaceship. You know, like you're just there's massive number of musicians behind you, particularly Red Rocks.
Yeah.
Like felt like that because standing there on that huge stage and there's
And everyone's coming,
like
looking
6,000
down at
people
you.
staring at you while you like don't mess up. Because we riff a lot and like we go off script a lot and everything's like there's never anything but like live music, and when you're with an orchestra you can't riff, and so it's pretty nerve-wracking.
I caught you guys a few years ago. You played a show at Shuba's, and
Far out, really?
and you guys did a cover of "Goodbye Horses."
That's right, Q
from
Lazarus.
Q Lazarus.
Yeah.
Does that regularly make its way in? Because
It
you
used
did it,
to.
and I feel like a lot of people are like, "What's this?" And I'm like, "They're doing Q Lazarus. This is crazy!" And it was an amazing cover.
And it's a famous. The song was made famous by
By Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah, exactly.
Buffalo
right.
Bill when he does the
Yeah,
tuck.
in a very beautiful.
And he looks in the mirror.
In a very beautiful scene from
Yeah.
that classic film.
Very infamous scene. And what was funny, when we used to play it a lot. And I remember one summer we were overseas playing festivals, and we were playing. I think it was Reading or Leeds, and we played Goodbye Horses. And we look in the back, and there's a bunch of people doing the tuck,
They're doing the dance,
like,
the
taking
dance,
pictures
yeah.
or like video. And we were like,
It was like, what are they?
okay, that's what
okay.
that
It
is.
puts the
yeah.
lotion on its skin. We
Yeah.
get it.
It's the lotion on his skin. That's right.
Airborne Toxic Event here at Lollapalooza, and plans for the rest of the year?
Yeah, actually. So we've been working very hard in the studio, and we're debuting 2 new songs this weekend.
Fantastic.
And there'll be a record out very soon. I think is about as specific as like it'll be in this near future, and then a single out very soon, actually.
And the strangest tattoo of your band you've seen on somebody? Again.
Oh, the tree, like over their whole side.
Yeah.
Our first record had this huge, kind of very spare tree.
Right.
And there's like a tree up somebody's side. I
Well,
saw.
just the enormity of some of these tattoos
Yeah.
are kind
They're
of
like the
very,
eagle with
or like
the
an
whole
entire
arm. Yeah.
bicep.
That's incredible.
That's dedication.
They
By the
really
way,
are.
you
Yeah.
guys going to be in Milwaukee, not too far away in September. You want to road trip it? It's a show definitely worth checking out.
Yeah, great.
Stephen and Mikhail from Airborne Toxic Event. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Pleasure chatting with you.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Hell yeah, man.